There's something magical about the word forbidden. It doesn't just mean off limits. It means there's a solid reason you're not supposed to be there. And when even top archaeologists, the people who uncover the past for a living, are banned from stepping foot inside, well, you know something serious is going on. So, what are these places hiding? Lost knowledge? Dangerous truths? Something the world isn't ready for? Well, you won't be booking a ticket anytime soon, but we're about to take you on a virtual tour of 15 archaeological sites, so secretive and so restricted that even the most curious minds won't be able to uncover their mysteries. Let's start off this list with number 15, the Temple of Mount Kailash. Most mountains are meant to be climbed, except this one. You can hike Everest if you have the lungs for it, and Kilimanjaro's practically inviting you up. But Mount Kailash in Tibet? That's strictly off limits. Considered the spiritual center of the universe by Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Bon practitioners, this mountain isn't just sacred, it's untouchable. No one has ever officially reached the summit, and those who've tried either turned back or mysteriously disappeared. Locals believe scaling Kailash would bring disaster, and honestly, considering how 2025 has been going, we do not need any more cosmic bad luck. At the base of the mountain lies a hidden temple rumored to guard ancient relics and powerful artifacts. Some say a secret civilization lives inside the mountain. Others believe it's a gateway to another realm. Either way, this is one mystery we're probably better off leaving alone, because if legends are true, some doors should stay closed. Number 14, the Crypt of Civilization. Imagine locking up a time capsule so big that it's literally a room. That's exactly what happened in 1940 when Oglethorpe University professor Thornwell Jacobs decided to preserve our civilization for the people of the year 8113 AD. Yep, you heard that right. Over 6,000 years into the future. Inside this massive underground vault, they packed books, movies, tools, a toaster, and even recordings of political speeches and music. The idea? To give future humans, or let's be real, aliens, a snapshot of 20th century life. But there's just one little problem. Most of the stuff inside is stored on microfilm and vinyl records, so unless our futuristic descendants have a USB to gramophone adapter, they might be out of luck. The crypt is sealed shut until its opening date, and absolutely no one is allowed inside. But hey, maybe by then, time travel will exist, and they'll just come back and ask us what the hell was up with Twitter. Well, sorry for that. It's X. Number 13, Zone Rouge. There are places on Earth you just don't go, and France's Zone Rouge is at the top of that list. This isn't just some abandoned land, it's a World War I battlefield frozen in time. After the war, millions of artillery shells, landmines, and toxic chemicals were left scattered across northern France. Some areas were so devastated by trench warfare that the French government looked at the damage and basically said, yeah, we're never fixing this. Entire villages were abandoned, deemed too dangerous for resettlement, and to this day, the ground is still littered with unexploded bombs. In fact, military squads still find and destroy over 500 tons of old ammunition every year. Some experts say it could take centuries before the land is safe again. So if you ever find yourself in northern France and see a "Do Not Enter" sign, yeah, listen to it. Number 12. The Hidden Chambers of the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the most famous landmarks in history. But even after thousands of years, there are places inside no one is allowed to enter. Certain sealed-off chambers and passageways have remained untouched for centuries. The biggest mystery? The hidden shafts leading out of the Queen's chamber. In the 90s, archaeologists sent a tiny robot inside one of these shafts, only for it to hit a mysterious stone door. What's behind it? No one knows on this earth. Some believe the pyramid holds undiscovered tombs, secret texts, or even a lost treasure. Others think it might be hiding something we're not supposed to find. And honestly, Considering how advanced AI is in 2025, maybe we should leave some ancient secrets alone. The last thing we need is King Tut sliding into our DMS from the afterlife. We don't want that. Number 11. Petra. You've seen Petra before. It's that stunning city carved into a mountain in Jordan, the one straight out of an Indiana Jones movie. But while tourists can visit the famous treasury, most of Petra is sadly off-limits. The Jordanian government takes its protection very seriously. Many chambers, tombs, and tunnels are sealed shut, and while they say it's to preserve the site, others believe there's more to the story. Some rumors claim there are hidden vaults filled with gold, while others suggest the city holds ancient secrets lost to time. Archaeologists are still making new discoveries in Petra, but there's a strict limit to how much they can explore. And honestly, maybe that's for the best. If history has taught us anything, it's that digging too deep into ancient sites tends to end badly. If we're not careful, we might wake up something we're not ready for. Number 10. The Bosnian Pyramids. Pyramids in Bosnia? Sounds like a bad History Channel conspiracy, right? But for years, people have debated whether these massive pyramid-shaped hills in Visoko are just natural formations, or something much, much older than even the Egyptian pyramids. Mainstream archaeologists say, nope, just mountains. But others point to the precise geometric shape, underground tunnels, and strange energy readings as evidence that these hills are actually man-made structures from a lost civilization. And here's where things get even sketchier. Serious excavation of the site is heavily restricted. Why? Well, depending on who you ask, it's either because the pyramids are a total hoax or because someone doesn't want us to know the truth. Are we one dig away from rewriting history books? Or are we just looking at a really well-placed pile of dirt? Until someone gets proper access, this mystery stays buried. Number 9. The Chapel of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is one of the most legendary relics in human history. Said to contain the Ten Commandments, it supposedly disappeared thousands of years ago. Or did it? According to Ethiopian tradition, the Ark is hidden inside the Chapel of the Ark at St. Mary of Zion Cathedral in Axum. But here's the kicker. Only one person, a specially chosen monk, can ever see it. He dedicates his life to guarding the Ark, never leaving the chapel. No archaeologists, no scientists, no world leaders, no exceptions. Skeptics say the Ark is just a replica. Others argue it's the real deal, kept secret to protect its power. But without proof, we may never know. Meanwhile, Indiana Jones is somewhere losing his mind. If there's any truth to the legend, this might just be the biggest historical secret never told. What do you say about it? Number 8. Bhangar Fort. If you're looking for a real-life horror movie setting, Bhangar Fort in Rajasthan, India, is your worst nightmare come true. Built in the 16th century, this massive fort was once home to over 10,000 people. Today, fully abandoned. And while tourists can visit during the day, no one is allowed inside after sunset. The reason? Curses, ghosts, and disappearances. According to legend, a black magic-obsessed priest tried to curse a princess into falling in love with him. She rejected him, and his own spell backfired, literally crushing him to death. But before he died, he cursed the entire town, dooming it to ruin. Locals claim to hear whispers, shadowy figures, and even people vanishing without a trace. Some brave souls have tried staying overnight, and let's just say, they didn't make it back. So, if you visit, maybe stick to daylight hours. No one wants to end up as the next true crime documentary. Number 7. The Sealed Door of Padmanabhaswamy Temple. Some doors are meant to be opened. Others? Well, absolutely not. And Vault B of India's Padmanabhaswamy Temple falls into that second category. Back in 2011, archaeologists uncovered 5 of the temple's 6 hidden vaults, revealing an insane amount of treasure. Gold, diamonds, priceless artifacts, basically Scrooge McDuck's dream vault. But then came Vault B. First, they found an impenetrable iron door covered in ancient snake carvings. Then the royal family of Travancore stepped in, warning everyone not to open it. Their reasoning? A deadly curse tied to astrology and ancient traditions. According to legend, anyone who forces it open risks unleashing catastrophic misfortune. Fast forward to 2025, and Vault B remains sealed shut. Number 6. Mount Shasta. At first glance, Mount Shasta in California looks like your typical stunning mountain. But look deeper, and you'll find some of the weirdest, wildest legends out there. For centuries, people have claimed that a lost civilization lives inside the mountain, a hidden city called Telos, home to an ancient, advanced race. Some believe it's a UFO hotspot, while others say spiritual energy portals exist here. And given how 2025 is fully embracing alien disclosure, maybe that theory isn't so crazy anymore. But here's the real mystery. Parts of Mount Shasta are strictly off-limits. Sure, you can hike some areas, but if you get too close to the rumored tunnels or caverns, just forget it. Native American tribes consider the mountain sacred, and authorities have made sure certain areas stay untouched. So, what's actually under there? Until someone gets access, or a billionaire live streams the excavation, we may never know. Number 5. The Tomb of Qin Shi Huang. China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, built an empire that lasted for centuries, but his greatest secret is still buried with him. You've heard of the Terracotta Army, those thousands of life-sized soldiers guarding his underground mausoleum. But what's inside his burial chamber? Well, no one knows. And if ancient legends are to be believed, no one should find out. Historians say the tomb is packed with booby traps, from crossbows rigged to fire at intruders to a deadly river of liquid mercury designed to mimic China's real waterways. In fact, soil tests around the site show dangerously high mercury levels, meaning those legends weren't just bedtime stories, they might have been warnings. The risk of collapse, toxins, and unknown horrors has kept archaeologists at bay for centuries. Will we ever open it? Maybe. But considering AI in 2025 can already make art, write scripts, and steal jobs, it's only a matter of time before we send in a robot to check it out. Just, let's hope it doesn't become self-aware and try to wake up the Emperor. Number 4. Cave of Altamira. If prehistoric humans had an art museum, Altamira Cave would have been their Louvre. Nestled in Spain, this cave's walls are covered in 36,000-year-old paintings of bison so detailed that archaeologists initially thought they were fakes. Turns out, early humans weren't just good at survival, they were also incredible artists. For a while, the public could visit and admire these Stone Age masterpieces, but there was one little problem: breathing. The more people exhaled inside, the more the humidity shifted, causing mold to creep in like an uninvited house guest. By 1977, the damage was so bad that officials shut it down, banning all but a handful of scientists from entering. Today, tourists get a replica cave. It's impressive, sure, but let's be honest. Would you rather see the real Mona Lisa or a really good copy hanging in a hotel lobby? Exactly. Number 3. The Lost Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a collection of scrolls, it was the knowledge center of the ancient world, packed with the wisdom of history's greatest minds. And then, poof. Well, gone, burned, lost, or maybe hidden. For centuries, we've been told that a fire destroyed the library, taking priceless scrolls with it. But some historians believe not everything was lost. In fact, some remnants may still be buried beneath modern-day Alexandria. The problem? Digging under an entire functioning city isn't exactly something Egypt's government is eager to greenlight. If this library, or even fragments of it, were ever found, it could rewrite history. Lost medical knowledge, ancient maps to vanished civilizations, maybe even a play written before Shakespeare was Shakespeare. But for now, we can only dream. Unless, of course, Hollywood decides to make Indiana Jones 6 about it, because honestly, this mystery deserves the big screen. Number 2. Lascaux Caves. Deep in the French countryside lies a cave so jaw-droppingly prehistoric that it might as well be the first Instagram feed ever created. Inside, 17,000-year-old paintings of bison, deer, and wild horses cover the walls in breathtaking detail, proving that our early ancestors weren't just surviving, they were expressing themselves. Discovered in 1940, the caves became a must-see attraction, until humans, being humans, ruined everything. Tourists unknowingly introduced bacteria and moisture, causing mold to spread like an influencer's bad take on Twitter. By 1963, officials had no choice but to lock it down forever, allowing only a few scientists in at a time. Now visitors can only experience a replica, which sure is better than nothing. But let's be real. If given the chance, you'd totally risk breaking the rules for a peek at the real thing. Just maybe don't breathe too hard while you're in there, or prepared for the pretty worst. Number 1. The Grand Canyon's Lost Egyptian Tomb. If you love conspiracy theories, buckle up. This one's a wild ride. Back in 1909, a man named G.E. Kincaid claimed to have found a hidden cave in the Grand Canyon packed with Egyptian-style artifacts, statues, hieroglyphs, and even mummies. Not just any mummies, giant ones. Naturally, he reported his find to the Smithsonian and their response. Never heard of it. Fast forward a century, and that cave is completely off limits. Officials claim it's for safety reasons, but let's be real. When something's this restricted, it just screams government cover-up. Some believe this cave held proof that ancient Egyptians reached America before Columbus. Others think it was a burial site for ancient giants. Meanwhile, the Smithsonian is still out here acting like they accidentally misplaced history. So, was Kincaid telling the truth? Is there a lost civilization buried in the Grand Canyon? Well, one thing's for sure. You're never getting past those no entry signs to find out. If you have enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you in the next one.